I have looked into the deepest, darkest depths. I have seen things no man should ever see, let alone children. I just had my head ripped off, my soul exposed, and everything in my soul spat and shat upon. My head reattached, got the little green ribbon to make sure it stays on. And I've seen things I do not want to see ever again. For I put it in a movie, and I was greeted by this. It's day 8 of 100 Days of Horror. Today, I watched Dr. Seuss's The Cat in the Hat. Yes, my friends, I just watched 2003's The Cat in the Hat, starring Mike Myers. And let me tell you, this version of Mike Myers is scarier than anything from the Halloween version of Michael Myers. Oh boy. I hate you. I hate you so much. I know what you're saying. That's not a horror film. High Life was a stretch. That is no way at all a horror film. Then I ask, have you seen it? Have you sat down and watched all 80 minutes of this? Because this is disturbing as fuck. This is the most disturbing thing I've seen in a long time. It just got right into the deepest, darkest back of my soul. And it yelled, and it screamed, and it mugged, and it made really awful jokes. It stared right at the camera as I am and told me those jokes, looking me directly in the eye. Other news, here's my cat. She doesn't like cats. She doesn't like cats at all, and I thank her for it. You're the best, Harley. The reason I'm doing this, and this isn't a joke, there isn't a number 8 coming that's not 2003's The Cat in the Hat. After the Cat Shower came out last week, oh my god. That looks like the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen. I can't wait to see this. After I've seen Star Wars like 5 times. Ooh, let's watch the trailer again. I was talking to the rest of the city of Geek about it, and I never actually watched this version of The Cat in the Hat, and it was joked that it should count as a horror film, and Kim said, sure, why not? And so, here I am, because, yeah, this movie is a horror film. I'm gonna straight up say that. The way it's shot, the way it looks, I know it's very bright and colorful, but I cannot foresee any child watching this and enjoying it. Fuck, when the cat arrives, this happens.
A monster? Where?
Scream and run. And away they go.
Who are you?
Who? Me?
Scream and run. The kids have the right response. This should be traumatic to anyone watching. I can't imagine what it was like to be Mike Myers doing this. He put this costume on, looked in the mirror and said, this is where my career is going. And not immediately hung himself. Yes, I'm being very hyperbolic with my disturbing nature of this movie, but I watched it. I watched every last minute of it. Now I got this disc from the library and it skips about an hour in, so I thought I might have got to skip the last 20 minutes, even though I never like to do that, even with the most disturbing pieces of shit I've ever seen in my life. But it is streaming on Netflix, so I did have to finish it. Now, I did finish it on my wife's account, so she gets that ding, not me. I look forward to seeing what's recommended to her after I watch The Cat in the Hat on her name. This makeup design, yes, it's very kind of impressive in a way, but it's also does not fit. Now we're talking about in the cat shower that looks really awful to have that CG faces floating over cat bodies, but if you actually made them look like cats, it would look like this. There's the Doctor Who version that did it a lot better, but you know perfectly well that this is what it would really look like. You know perfectly well is what it really look like if you want to make sure you're seeing the faces of the people you're paying a lot to put their names in the movie. And I can see, after watching this, why they didn't do that. Now what they chose is a completely different thing, and that's a whole different topic for a different time. So honestly, I actually reviewed this movie, even as a horror film, as a not. Yeah, it's bad. It's just straight up, it's a bad movie. It's not funny. There's a lot of things that are, I can't believe anyone on the set, whether it be director Satan, also known as Bo Welsh, or anyone who's there, the kids. I saw Dakota Fanning and Spencer Breslin are better than this. I just saw Dakota Fanning in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood recently, and in the 2 days of seeing her younger and seeing her now, I don't care what came between. I'm seeing 2 bookended shitty movies. It's honestly very off-putting and disturbing as Mike Myers stares directly at the camera and delivers incredibly awful jokes. And it's not just jokes that don't fit because I'm a 37-year-old watching a kid's movie, but just jokes that I don't know who they're intended for. He's making adult jokes, making kid jokes, he's making just everything that comes into his head and throwing out there. Now, I'm not against adult humor in kids' movies, that's fine, but that seems where a lot of this is. Other than that, just these big, colorful, loud Seuss things that aren't completely taking a little bit from Seuss here, a little bit from this, with really, there's my cat again, with really like the slow mobile and stuff like that. Look, it's one of those things that I think of when I was watching like The Shadow on short takes in the first, like second short takes I wrote on other productions that that I'm referencing will come from the 90s, but really weird production choices that don't translate to screen at all. It looks like off-putting and don't film well, like Wild Wild West. Eventually I'm going to talk about it, to watch that last month. I just got behind. That has some of those same options where it seems like who's watching this and why? What is their aim? Because there's no one could be having fun on this. Everyone else in the movie looks like they just want to go the hell home. The humor is so base when it's not being stupidly crude. It feels like there's contempt on every level, from the bottom up, especially from Mike Myers attempting to do whatever the hell he's attempting to do. Probably piles of cocaine mixed into that contempt. Contempt, cocaine, and the attempt to scare the hell out of a generation of children. In conclusion, for ranting for 10 minutes on this disturbing, unfunny, mean-spirited piece of junk, and I didn't even get into thing 1 and 2. Just when you think you're being done being disturbed by the Cat in the Hat, brings on thing 1 and thing 2 to really rip into your nightmare fuel. I cannot unsee what I saw here. I want to go watch Antichrist to clear my palate because I just watched Dr. Seuss's The Cat in the Hat. New camera angle. Thank you for sitting through my review of Cat in the Hat. I know it's not really a horror film, but I can't resist because it's literally the scariest thing I've seen this year until Cats comes out in December. So 100 Days of Horror continues with day number 9, which will be Slasher Season 1, and I'll return with that. I'll be in the same setup because I'm filming a bunch of these at once and I'm on vacation in a couple days. So like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and we'll see you next time on 100 Days of Horror. Go to StevePeak.com and see what everyone else is watching. And join us. Tell us what you're watching on the Facebook group or right down below or wherever the hell you want, because we want you to join us for 100 Days of Horror.